Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in. You're listening to the Sound Bearier, Northeast State's official podcast, where we'll be breaking the barrier by getting to know some of our faculty, staff, and students. This is your host, Matthew Poole, and joining us today is Jenna Welch, counseling intern for the college. Thank you for being with us, Jenna.
Yeah, thanks. Glad to be here.
Absolutely. So on behalf of the Sound Bearier team, we're really excited to have you on, and especially your expertise. So in this episode, we're going to be covering a variety of topics, including getting to know our guests firstly, as well as getting to know our counseling department's social media. They've got some big plans coming up this spring semester, as well as some tips for mental health. So to begin with, Jenna, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and your journey through academia.
So I'm from South Georgia originally, and I moved up here with my husband and our daughter in 2018 for him to begin medical school. So I graduated December 2017 in Georgia with my bachelor's in social work and got a job up here in Tennessee at the Department of Children's Services. So I worked there for a couple of years, and then I decided I wanted to do more. So I went on to graduate school at ETSU, where I'm at right now. So
fantastic. So you're finishing that up. You mentioned prior to the podcast beginning that you're finishing up this May.
Yes, I'll graduate in May.
Fantastic. So what brings you to Northeast State specifically?
So I'm the counseling intern, and we all have to do a field placement in the master's program. And so the counseling center ended up being mine. So I just counsel students, and I come up here 2 days a week, and I just love it.
Fantastic. So Jenna, what are some of your interests outside of work and school? I know you're super busy between everything that you've got going on, but whenever you do have time to engage in hobbies or just relax, what is it that you like to do?
So I'm actually kind of boring, but I like to stay home. I think the pandemic's kind of made me a less outgoing person. I just like to be at home with my family. I watch a lot of Netflix. I love historical documentaries. I watch some reality television sometimes, which I'm not proud of, but it's my guilty pleasure. And I really don't do a whole lot. I hang out with my dog. My dog's like my life. So yeah, I think the pandemic has limited my activities here lately.
Yeah, I think we can all relate to that, especially at the very beginning of the pandemic, whenever we were on some pretty strict, lockdowns. A lot of us really picked up the hobby of picking up on the TV shows that we wanted to get to and things like that. And definitely reality shows, in my opinion, you kind of said it right there. I classify them as kind of chips for the brain.
Mm-hmm.
You can kind of just watch, veg out a little bit and enjoy
way to
that.
Relax, for sure.
Absolutely. So, Jenna, mental health is most certainly an important topic all the time, but especially in today's climate with the addition of COVID-19. For individuals who may be experiencing difficulties with their mental health, what would you suggest that their first step be if they're interested in counseling?
I think the first step is honestly just reaching out to someone. I think if that's telling a teacher, a neighbor, a family member, just to kind of gain some confidence that it's okay to tell someone. And then usually people will, suggest that you do get some help if that's what you need. But I definitely think reaching out to somebody is the first step.
Yeah, getting that conversation rolling. I'm pretty big on mental health myself, and I think it's absolutely integral that we continue to have these conversations and let people know that it's okay to not be okay, that you can reach out to somebody, and there is help out there.
Absolutely,
for
yes.
Sure. So what activities or exercises do you suggest individuals engage in to promote that mental well-being while navigating this COVID-19 climate?
I think just getting outdoors. I know we don't get a ton of sunshine up here, but I think that just getting outdoors when we do have sun and just getting that vitamin D, just walking around your neighborhood, just, moving your body, I think is so important, and not staying cooped up. It's easy for us to just want to hang out in the house all the time, but it's important to go out and get fresh air, connect with nature. I think that's just extremely important with mental health.
For sure. I noticed that, speaking for myself, whenever my mental health may be waning a little bit, I notice that I don't exercise as much, and I have to kind of catch myself and be like, hey, let's maybe try and go for at least a walk, and once I go for one, it's my mental health just, I don't want to say that it's immediate, but it almost feels like this release of natural endorphins, and I just feel so much better after going for a walk. It doesn't have to be anything too strenuous,
Right.
but engaging in something is better than nothing.
Oh, absolutely. I think just going outside for 5 minutes, I'll do that sometimes, or I'm sitting at a computer for school and I'm just like, I need something. And just going and walking around my like little condominium a couple of times, I think does wonders for my mood.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
So, Jenna, switching topics really quickly, we're going to turn the page to our counseling department and specifically talk about the social media engagements that you all are trying to dive into. So can you tell us a little bit more about the goals that our counseling center is trying to accomplish with its social media pages?
Yeah, so the social media, we're just trying to engage more students to know that we're here, that we're ready to help or have someone to talk to. I think, social media is so important for the generation that we're living in, and I think that that is how a lot of the youth and our younger students are seeing things. It's the marketable way to get people to see that we're available and that we're there. So we're using it to our advantage.
Yes, absolutely. That's where the eyes and ears are at these days. It's social media. So what are, you mentioned monthly themes and Thriving Thursday. So what can our students expect to see throughout the semester as well as through their student email?
So the monthly themes, we try to get a theme for each month or a couple of months. So we have February. We're in February right now. So it's about loving yourself, giving yourself some grace. We share tips and ways to reduce stress, ways to love yourself more, do more things for yourself. Also about healthy relationships, things that pertain to, kind of around Valentine's Day, February. The word love always comes up. So we just kind of tailor it to the theme of the month, or a lot of our months don't have a lot going on, so we try to find something that will go along with it.
Yeah, I think that's amazing, and I think that's going to be very beneficial for our students. And this is a public announcement here. Students, if you're listening to this, make sure and check your email. All you have to do is go to the main website, northeaststate.edu. At the very center of the home page, there's a tab that says My Northeast/D2L. At this point, you should be very familiar with that button. Go ahead and click it. Once you log in, the top left, there's going to be a tab that says Student Mail. Just click the link under there, and you can go ahead and do that while you're listening to the podcast and checking to see if you've received anything from Jenna and our counseling department. So, Jenna, going back and turning back to you, if you had to describe yourself with one word, what would it be and why?
Probably compassionate. I feel like probably me being in the social work field, I feel like I'm an empath, and I just have a lot of compassion for everyone. And I thought about this for a while. What word really describes me? And I think compassionate.
Yeah, in the brief time that we've known each other, I can definitely tell that word describes you very well. So, Jenna, how can our listeners, if they're interested in counseling, get in touch with you? And at this time, you can go ahead and plug your the ways in which they can reach you.
Well, you can get on the website and go to the counseling center and email straight to Denise Walker. She's our kind of the supervisor and the main counselor. And then you can go to our Instagram page, Northeast State Counseling, and then we have our Facebook. So there's numerous ways you can DM us, you can email us, you can call up to the school. There's really no way we can't be reached. You can stop by the counseling center. Usually someone is in there. Or reach out to Kathy Albright, and she'll get you in touch with us. So there's a lot of ways to find someone to talk to.
Absolutely. And it's free.
Yes, it's free. Comes with your tuition.
Yeah. So students, please take advantage of this. Reach out to exactly where Jenna recommended to. And if you're considering being in counseling, just know that you can do so, and it's a very warm and safe environment. Personally speaking, I've met each of the individuals that Jenna just mentioned, and they are absolutely amazing to speak with. So if you're interested in counseling, make sure to reach out. But Jenna, thank you so much for being a part of the podcast. I definitely think that your wealth of knowledge is going to be beneficial for our students to hear, and just really appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to be with us today.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I enjoyed it.
Absolutely. Thank you all again for tuning in. We appreciate you listening. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe wherever you're listening from. Check us out at northeaststate.edu and thesoundbearier.com. We'll talk at you next time as we continue to break the barrier.